This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It is 5 o'clock here on your Monday. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Here's what's making headlines on this March 2nd. Thousands of IPS students may not be able to get on the school bus this morning, while drivers say they are calling off in the district's plan in case routes are canceled once again.
Advocates for college athletes are pushing for the NCAA to take steps against the coronavirus at events. Their recommendations to prevent the spread during March Madness.
And a new program is giving people hope to help those with Down syndrome continue their education. What Ivy Tech is doing to individualize the courses and opportunities. But first, we need to get a check of our Storm Team 6 forecast.
That's right, and as you're heading out the door to start your work week, the rain is coming down, Alyssa. It's not too heavy, so that is good news for the commute, but what's it looking like out there on radar?
That's right, so we are seeing that widespread showers moving across our area this morning. Most of the showers across the metro area are very light. We do have some heavier showers just to the north, right around Peru and into Lafayette towards Terre Haute on the back end of this system, and then some heavier showers to the south of us. Moving into Seymour right now, we could even see some rumbles of thunder with that system moving across the south right now. Also seeing those heavier downpours as that moves across. Most of us, though, just going to see those lighter showers, maybe a pocket of heavier showers by the morning, and then we are going to see things taper off as we head into the noon hour. That's when we will be completely dry as we head through the day. Some sunshine possible this afternoon as well. Highs today will be into the low 50s. We do have a drier week ahead behind this system. All of those details in just a few minutes.
Alyssa, thanks. We are keeping a close eye on those wet roads this morning. This is our INDOT traffic camera at I-465 at the Sam Jones Expressway. You can see traffic here is moving along up to speed, both northbound and southbound. Despite the wet roads we have out there, everything is traveling up to speed around the metro area. We'll continue to keep you updated if there are any crashes or delays this morning.
The questions over transportation for students at Indianapolis Public Schools continues this morning. On Friday, dozens of drivers called off, giving the district no choice but to cancel bus services for all students.
Now, they are not confident that they can provide sufficient services even today. Our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning. And Kelsey, we should know really soon whether or not those buses will run.
That's right. We're expected to find out around 5:30 this morning whether or not these IPS students will have a way to get to school via bus transportation. But right now, the district is recommending that people find alternate ways to get to school this morning. But they say no matter their decision, school will be open and meals will be served. They say they recognize this is a disruption to families, and they have partnered with Indigo, who's providing free rides to all IPS students. But bus passes are not needed for students. They simply just need to tell Indigo bus drivers that they attend IPS. But parents who ride with their child will have to pay the bus fare. We sat down with IPS Superintendent Alicia Johnson on Friday afternoon, and she says the hope is that business is back to normal this morning.
You know, the hope would be that everyone's back to work and it's business as usual, but we are planning for that worst case scenario so that, again, we can communicate to families and they have the ability to get ready if they need to be thinking about something different.
The call-offs come amid ongoing labor disputes between IPS and the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, the union that represents the drivers. In January, the district announced it would be changing transportation services to first student, putting the jobs of hundreds of drivers and bus attendants at risk. IPS says while it understands change can be difficult, they still expect drivers to show up and do their jobs. Again, we should know more around 5:30 this morning on what is going to happen with transportation services today. And coming up in the 6 o'clock hour, we're going to have a live interview with Superintendent Alicia Johnson. But for now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Kelsey, thank you. Now, you can find the latest on the IPS busing closings and any information for alternate transportation. It's all right now on our website, theindychannel.com. Obviously, within the next half hour, we'll keep you updated as we learn any new information.
Here at 5:04 in New Overnight, one man is hospitalized after a shooting involving a security guard. It happened just before midnight behind a strip mall on 37th and Meridian Street. Officers tell RTV6 that the security guard was working at an apartment building when the victim approached and was was waving around a gun. The man was told not to trespass, but continued to go near the building and threaten the guard. That's when the guard fired his gun, hitting the man. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition and is expected to survive.
Dashcam video shows a chase that ended with the arrest of a robbery suspect. Monroe County Sheriff's deputies were looking for the suspect near State Road 45 and South Harmony Road early Saturday morning. The suspect then led deputies on a chase. A spike strip was used to deflate the tires of the minivan, and then the suspect got out and tried to run away. Deputies eventually caught up with him. They say he had items in the van that were stolen during a robbery in Seymour.
A group that advocates for college athletes is calling on the NCAA to act now to protect athletes amid the coronavirus outbreak. The National College Players Association is recommending that the NCAA cancel all events that puts players in contact with crowds, like meet and greets and press events. They also want the organization to consider holding March Madness games without an audience. The Midwest Regional round of the tournament is scheduled to happen here in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium. We talked to local basketball fans before a Butler game this weekend about their thoughts of the recommendations.
I know that Indy is for sure a place that people come to watch games and everything, so I think that people will be upset.
I have tickets for the site in Cleveland, so looking forward to it. Family got it for my birthday, for my 50th birthday present, so my son's coming home from college for spring break. We're looking forward to it, so hope we still play. You know, I think people will probably understand at the end of the day. If they're going to do it, they're not going to do it. They're not going to make the decision without really thinking it through. So at the end of the day, fans are going to be disappointed, but if that's what it does, you know, it takes to contain the virus, then it has to happen.
The NCAA has not responded directly to this call to action, but on their website, they have a page for coronavirus resources. It says that staff members are working with host communities and schools to monitor the virus. Championship staff will also add appropriate safeguards to address any issues.
Concern is growing across the globe as 37 more countries report their first cases of the coronavirus. Many are located in Europe and the Middle East, while meanwhile, numbers of the infected continue to spike in Italy and South Korea. Country leaders have also fallen ill. In Iran, a member of the Supreme Leaders Council has reportedly died. Countries like France have begun to take precautions by canceling all public gatherings with more than 5,000 people in confined spaces. The famous Louvre Museum in Paris has also been closed.
This morning, representatives from hospitals across Indiana will rally at the State House to protest a bill that they say will hurt Hoosier health care. House Bill 1004 would require hospital bills to include the exact location a procedure took place to determine Medicaid reimbursement. Supporters say it would prevent hospitals from overcharging patients if they went to a smaller off-site office. Those with the Indiana Hospital Association say it will instead drastically cut reimbursement and could cause locations to close. Their protest is expected to begin with featured speakers at 10 this morning.
Ivy Tech is creating a new program to help provide a college education to students with Down syndrome. The pilot program, called Ivy Power, will be held at Ivy Tech's Southern Indiana campus in Sellersburg. It will offer a 2-year course of individualized studies and internships. After it's complete, Ivy Power students will receive a certificate and graduate along with the other college students. The program is set to begin this fall. The time right now is 5:08. It's Monday morning, and we have some rain in your forecast right now, Alyssa.
That's right, and the good news is this rain is not going to last much longer. We're seeing some heavier pockets of showers to the north and south of us, but across the metro area, seeing mostly light showers at this hour. Some heavier showers to the south right near Seymour. That's where we're seeing some of those downpours, and just to the north of us along Peru and Lafayette, along I-65 and I-74 towards Illinois. So those are the areas we're seeing some of those heavier pockets of showers. As we head into the next few hours, we are going to see those rain chances diminish a little bit. So we are seeing the heaviest rain showers this morning just in time for your commute. So you might see some slick roadways, and then we'll start to see those rain chances die down by the noon hour. Just a spot chance possible this afternoon. Highs today will be into the low 50s. We're starting in the upper 40s this morning, so only climbing a couple degrees. It's going to be a mild day for our forecast, 51 degrees for our high. The rest of the week looking pretty dry and comfortable. I'll have those details in just a few minutes.
A big change for the Democratic presidential candidates as Pete Budaj drops out of the race ahead of Super Tuesday. Why he says he made the decision to step aside.
And a deal to end an 18-year war between the U.S. and the Taliban has hit a roadblock. The disagreement over prisoners that could make the peace agreement fall apart.
And here's a live look right now at traffic on the northwest side, I-465 and West 86th Street. Take a look at the wet roads out there this morning. You can see the reflection from the headlights moving across your screen. Traffic here at I-465 and 86th Street is traveling up to speed. We'll be back with more just after the break.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Time now is 5:12. We're taking a live look at I-465 at I-74 on the west side. You can see traffic is starting to pick up as the morning moves on. Roadways are wet out there, but there are no issues to report at this hour. In the race for the White House, former South Bend Mayor Pete Budaj ending his historic campaign. He decided to drop out after Joe Biden's big win in South Carolina. The question now is, how will it affect Super Tuesday tomorrow? ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest.
Overnight, Pete Buttigieg dropping out.
The path has narrowed to a close for our candidacy, if not for our cause.
After strong finishes in Iowa and New Hampshire, the former South Bend mayor struggled to win over minority voters, finishing fourth in South Carolina Saturday. The candidates remaining have 1 day left to make their case before 14 states go to the polls tomorrow. Fresh off his commanding win in South Carolina, former Vice President Joe Biden tells ABC's Eva Pilgrim he's taking nothing for granted.
So do you think you can win on Super Tuesday?
I don't know that I can win Super Tuesday, but I think that I'll be viable coming out of Super Tuesday. And then you have states that I think I'll do very, very well in, like Florida and Georgia and some other states as well.
In Selma, Alabama, Biden, along with Senators Elizabeth Warren and Amy Klobuchar, marked the anniversary of the bloody Sunday violence of 1965, when demonstrators were beaten during a voting rights march. Congressman John Lewis, who was injured in the march and is now fighting pancreatic cancer, made a surprise appearance.
We cannot give up now.
This morning, Biden is facing an uphill climb against delegate leader Senator Bernie Sanders, who spent far more money in Super Tuesday delegate-rich states like California and Texas, where he leads in the polls. In Minneapolis last night, Klobuchar was forced to cancel a rally in her home state after protesters chanting Black Lives Matter took over the stage, shouting, demanding she drop out. The wild card tomorrow, billionaire Michael Bloomberg, who's on the ballot for the first time. The former New York mayor has faced criticism for his record on race relations. In Alabama Sunday, some churchgoers turned their backs on him. But Bloomberg says he's in the race for the long haul.
If you don't finish in the top 3 on Super Tuesday, is that it for you?
No, of course not. There's a number of elections after that.
Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
It is 5:15 this morning. Officials are trying to figure out exactly how North Korea fired towards Japan. South Korea's military says 2 unidentified objects were shot into the waters between the Korean peninsula and Japan today. Officials say it was likely part of the North's combined military drills, which began on Friday, the anniversary of leader Kim Jong-un's summit with President Trump. International ministers are holding on an urgent meeting later today to discuss this alarming launch.
A peace agreement between the U.S. and the Taliban has already hit a snag. Afghanistan's president saying in a news conference he wasn't ready to release prisoners. The deal signed Saturday included plans for Afghanistan to release 5,000 Taliban prisoners ahead of talks meant to begin later this month. The Taliban would then release up to 1,000 prisoners of their own. Afghanistan's president said that he is not ready to release them before the start of negotiations. The U.S. says it still plans to withdraw U.S. troops over the next 14 months under the agreement.
At 5:16, Kobe Bryant's wife Vanessa says she's devastated over reports that sheriff's deputies shared photos of the helicopter crash site. Kobe and his daughter Gianna and 7 others died in that January crash. Through her attorney, she called the issue, quote, an unspeakable violation of human decency and the privacy rights of the victims and their families. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department responded to the report, saying the allegations are under investigation.
The world of NASCAR honored Kobe in their race last night. A patch of grass at Auto Club Speedway in San Bernardino was painted with number 24 in Lakers colors. The number 12 and 24 cars were also painted purple and gold for the race. Driver Daniel Suarez made his own tribute with special gloves and shoes that were later auctioned off. Here at 5:16, no NASCAR-like driving this morning, Alyssa, because those roads are wet out there.
No, take it slow today. We are starting with a wet morning. We have rain showers widespread across central Indiana. The good news is they're not going to last very long. Really just the first half of our day we're going to be impacted, and then we're going to dry out this afternoon and see mostly a dry week ahead. But we are starting this morning with those temperatures in the 40s throughout the morning. Those rain showers sticking with us till mid-morning, and then we'll start to see things taper off a little bit by the noon hour. So what's going on is we have just light showers across Indianapolis right now in the metro area. Some heavier showers to the north right around Frankfort and into Lebanon and across towards Noblesville. And then we do have a pocket of heavier showers traveling across southern counties this morning as well. That's moved across Bloomington and that's moving into Seymour and towards Greensburg right now. Those areas you should expect some heavier downpours at times, possibly even a rumble of thunder as that system moves across. All of this is from this cold front that's moving through. As we head into the afternoon, we are going to see a bit of a lull between this and another system. So here we are this morning at 5 a.m. and you can see those showers continue, and then by about 8 or 9 a.m. then we're starting to see more spotty showers in nature, with most of the concentration for heavier showers along the eastern portion of the state. The rest of us will just see some spotty showers. By the afternoon hours, we'll see cloudy skies, maybe a stray shower for areas to the south, but most of us will be dry by that time, and possibly even some peaks of sunshine later this afternoon as high pressure briefly takes control. That's ahead of a low pressure system that will come in behind it this evening. That will bring us just a small chance of some showers for areas to the south overnight and into early tomorrow morning. But most of us are going to be dry after this first round of showers gets through this morning, and then maybe just a spot shower later today. Looking at those totals as we head through the afternoon, those have actually gone down. We're looking at maybe a quarter inch of rainfall, so most of the rain falling this morning is very light. Some heavier showers are still possible, and some higher totals for areas to just the southeast of Indianapolis as that system moves across. Looking ahead to the rest of the week, temperatures are staying warm. Usually we're in the mid-40s by this time of year, and today we're going to be into the low 50s, and we're going to stay that way for much of the work week, almost into the 60s by Thursday before we drop down towards the weekend. Today, temperatures starting in the 40s, those rain showers continuing, maybe a spot shower by noon, and then we'll start to see maybe a peak of sunshine this afternoon, highs into the low 50s. So a pretty nice afternoon on the way. Just have to get through the morning, and then a pretty nice week. We're going to see those dry conditions, maybe a shower chance here and there throughout. Most of those would be in the evening, and just a very brief chance of those, if even that, in the 7-day forecast. Most of us, though, just going to see a nice, dry, pleasant week.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Here's a live look at traffic as you're heading out the door this morning. This is I-465 and I-69 up on the northeast side. You can see traffic in this area is moving along up to speed. Wet roads out there, as Alyssa's been telling us. Let's take a look right now at our Traffic Now map. We do have some construction bridge work closing this bridge on Mount Comfort Road at US 52. Keep that in mind as part of your commute here to our east. Take a quick look at your east side drive time heading in from on westbound I-70 from Post Road to I-65 at the North Split. It's a 10-minute drive, no delays. So let's take you out there live. I-70 here, a view from Sherman Drive. You can see traffic moving in both directions is traveling up to speed. Of course, we'll keep a close eye on your roads throughout the morning.
Another new streaming service is set to launch today, this time from AT&T. This comes as the phone company continues to see falling numbers in its DirecTV satellites. The new service, called AT&T TV, will have most of the same channels as DirecTV, but will come in over the internet instead of a dish. In May, AT&T will also launch its HBO Max streaming service.
Hilary Duff says she wants to participate in a reboot of Lizzie Mcguire, just not on Disney+. The actress played a preteen version of the character in the early 2000s. The reboot follows Lizzie now that she's in her 30s and was supposed to launch on the Disney streaming service. Duff has since posted on Instagram saying it's unrealistic to tell the story with a PG rating and wants the show to air on Hulu instead. The project is now on hold after the series creator stepped away from the project.
Have you ever tried to search for a song that is stuck in your head, but you couldn't find it only because you remembered the melody? Scientists think they may know why this happens. A team of researchers from McGill University say it's because the two are processed by different parts of the brain. On the right side, you decide the melody. On the left, the lyrics. Researchers say this also helps explain side effects for stroke victims. A stroke that happens on the left side of the brain can impair language, while a stroke on the right side can impair the ability to perceive sound. Crazy weather turned one neighborhood into what looks like the scene from a movie, Frozen maybe? After the break, how these houses in New York became completely covered in ice. We'll be right back.
Only on RTV6 News. Welcome back. It is 5:25. Here's a live look right now at traffic at I-465 and Hamilton Pike on the northeast side. You can see the rain coming down in this area. Traffic still moving along just fine, though, despite the wet roads. We'll keep you updated on any crashes or delays.
Instead of a winter wonderland, some people living near Lake Erie woke up to a winter nightmare. This video shows some of the shore completely covered in ice. It comes after 2 straight days of gale force winds and freezing temperatures. One of the homeowners says the ice on the house is about 3 feet thick and appeared overnight. He also says about 12 feet of ice are currently in his backyard. Many on social media say it looks like a scene out of Narnia. Well, I guess that's one excuse to call out to work on your Monday morning.
That looks incredible.
I can't get out of my house.
Crazy.
My front door is frozen shut. My garage is frozen shut.
That'll do it, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
All right, just rain here, thankfully.
Yeah, no excuses like that available for you today. I'm sorry. We're just starting with those rain showers this morning. As we head into the afternoon, we'll dry out quickly and we'll just see cloudy skies, maybe a peak of sunshine late this afternoon. Highs today into the low 50s. We're staying warm for this week with mostly sunny and dry conditions. Maybe a spot shower here and there. We have a couple systems that are going to get close to central Indiana, but for the most part looking dry with a pretty nice week ahead.
Any minute now, we will know whether IPS will cancel busing again for thousands of students going to school this morning. Coming up, the latest on the district's decision in a live report. We'll be right back.
Today at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Thousands of IPS students could be without transportation to school again this morning.
Our Kelsey Anderson working for you this morning with the very latest from the district. And it's the end of the line for Pete Budaj.
Why the former mayor of South Bend is dropping out of the presidential race and his message to supporters. But first, we need to check in on your Storm Team 6 forecast. It is raining all across central Indiana this morning.
That's right. It's not too hard that it'll impact your commute that much. Melissa Donovan is standing by with radar to show us what's going on out there as folks are heading out this Monday.
Yeah, so we're lucky we're in the middle of kind of the 2 heavier pockets of these showers moving across the area. All of this is from that cold front that's just back off to the southwest of us. And as we head through the day, we are seeing, you can see just to the south of us, some heavier pockets of showers along Seymour, some heavier pockets of showers to the north near Peru and Lafayette. In Indianapolis right now, lighter showers. Those heavier showers moving across Seymour, we do have the potential of seeing maybe a rumble of thunder embedded in there as well. Looks like a lot of that convection potential is starting to die off, but can't rule out. If you hear that, don't be surprised if you are in that area this morning. The good news is that's not going to last very long. We're starting with those temperatures this morning in the upper 40s, so a very warm start to the day, about 20 degrees warmer than we started our Sunday. As we head into the afternoon, highs will be into the low 50s. We could even see some peaks of sunshine this afternoon. We are going to see plenty of sun in the 7-day forecast. All of those details coming up.
Alyssa, thank you so much. Here is a look right now at traffic on the southeast side. Taking a look at your drive time, moving westbound on I-74 from Acton Road to 465. It's a quick 5-minute commute, so no delays there. Taking you over here to the east side, this is I-70 and Sherman Drive. You can see the wet roads out there. Alyssa's been telling us this morning. Still pretty quiet here on the east side, so it is good news for your commute. No crashes, no delays around the metro area to slow you down. It is 5:31, and we are working for you this morning, monitoring ongoing labor disputes between IPS and their bus drivers. Those issues impacting student transportation for a second day.
You'll remember Friday, more than 100 drivers and bus attendants called off, leaving nearly half of the district's students without transportation. And this morning, district officials are urging parents to seek alternative transportation for their students. Our Kelsey Anderson is live with what we're learning now. Kelsey, we understand that school officials are announcing any moment now what the status of those buses are going to be today.
That's right. We are expecting an announcement any moment, but we haven't heard it yet. They said around 5:30 this morning, so we're hoping to get that information as soon as possible. But today's transportation issues follow canceled bus services on Friday. Approximately 18,000 students missed school when nearly 100 school bus drivers called off on Friday. The call off comes amid ongoing labor disputes between IPS and the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, the union that represents the drivers. In January, the district announced it would be changing transportation services to First Student, putting the jobs of hundreds of drivers and bus attendants at risk. IPS says while it understands change can be difficult, they still expect drivers to show up and do their job.
Our teachers and staff are at work today, ready to serve, ready to teach, ready to educate. And the fact that more than half of our students aren't in school to be able to take advantage of that is a travesty. And it's extremely upsetting.
We absolutely do not support kids not being picked up, but there's a flip side. And I think the flip side from the bus drivers is they're frustrated. They're, it's confused. They're a little bit hurt. They also got worries. Most of the bus drivers are single parents, so I can see that the frustration level has obviously hit a high.
IPS says efforts have been made to support impacted drivers. Those efforts include a compensation bonus of up to $2,000 for employees who maintain strong attendance until the end of the year. Now, we did just get a tweet from IPS saying that they are happy to share that all district buses are running on their normal route today, and there may be potential delays due to some driver call-offs, but those buses will be running today. Coming up at 6, we will have a live interview with IPS Superintendent Alicia Johnson. But for now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Kelsey, thank you very much. A great update there for families wondering how their kids were going to get to school this morning. Here at 5:34, turning now to the presidential race, there is one less Democratic candidate. Former South Bend Mayor Pete Budaj ended his run Sunday night. In an emotional speech, Budaj thanked his supporters, saying his goal is to now unite the party. John Lawrence has more.
And then there were 6. Pete Buttigieg's run for the White House is over.
I am making the difficult decision to suspend my campaign for the presidency.
The former mayor's unlikely bid started last year in South Bend, Indiana, with a staff of 4.
No big email lists, no personal fortune. Hardly anybody knew my name, and even fewer could pronounce it.
But that changed over time, and Buttigieg broke barriers, becoming the first openly gay man to collect primary delegates for a major party's presidential nomination.
We achieved a top 4 finish in each of the first 4 states to hold nominating contests, and we made history winning those Iowa caucuses.
Buttigieg didn't endorse a fellow Democratic presidential candidate, but the eventual nominee will likely have his backing.
I will do everything in my power to ensure that we have a new Democratic president come January.
So what happens now? President Trump, taking to Twitter, says Buttigieg's exit gives former Vice President Joe Biden a boost. Others agree.
I think that the person who benefits the most from Pete Buttigieg being this story is going to be Joe Biden.
Frontrunner Bernie Sanders was complimentary to his former competitor.
I want to congratulate him for running a brilliant campaign. He is the first openly gay candidate for President of the United States. And he did extraordinarily well. I just want to welcome all of his supporters into our movement.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
In other news this morning, one man is injured after a shooting involving a security guard. This happened just before midnight behind a strip mall on 37th and Meridian Street. We're told the security guard was working at the apartment building when the victim approached and was waving around a gun. The man was told not to trespass but continued to go near the building and threaten the guard. That's when the guard fired his gun, hitting the man. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition but is expected to survive.
Also new this morning, an Indianapolis man is facing a $45,000 fine and multiple charges for violating labor and human trafficking laws. Investigators in Kentucky say 55-year-old Sean Floyd brought 12 children across state lines back in 2019, the youngest just 11 years old. He He's accused of forcing the children to sell candy and pay for their own meals and water. Floyd was initially charged with misdemeanor counts of endangering minors, but a grand jury later returned more serious charges. He has pleaded not guilty to the human trafficking charges.
At 5:37, for the first time ever, a person of color will lead the IU McKinney School of Law. Karen Bravo has been named dean pending formal approval by the Board of Trustees. Bravo, who is black and Jamaican, will be the second woman to lead the school. She joined faculty of McKinney School of Law in 2004 as an assistant professor of law. Since then, Bravo has served as Associate Dean for International Affairs, Associate Dean for Graduate Students and International Affairs, and most recently as the Vice Dean for the school. If her appointment is approved, Bravo will start her new job July 1st.
Butler Blue, the fourth, is a step closer to becoming the university's official mascot. Before Saturday night's sold-out game against DePaul at Hinkle Fieldhouse, a changing of the collar ceremony took place. During the ceremony, Butler's president took the custom collar created by Reese Nichols Jewelers from Tripp and placed it around the neck of Blue the Fourth. We talked to Blue the Third's handler, who says this is a bittersweet moment. He has led the mascot program for 16 years.
To honor the dogs and to provide a little bit of a show for our fans, and I think they appreciate it, and it's just fun to do. Something I dreamed up a handful of years ago. We did our first one with Blue the Second, Blue the Third, and now to do it again, and not just do it again, but then for me to ceremoniously also be handing the leash off to Evan means a lot.
I felt like a dad for Blue. When we debuted him, it was still really new to me. I'd only had him for a few days, and so it was a great moment when we debuted him. But now for the last really 7 weeks, I've had this dog training him for this moment, and he went out there and killed it. And I have no doubt that he's going to be a phenomenal mascot. And so to see him out there and for him to get the official collar and the nod to go ahead, I was just overall really proud.
Wednesday is Butler's last home game, and the last time Blue the Third and his handler, Michael Carlton-Mark, will run out with the team. Blue the Fourth will officially take over following Tripp's retirement ceremony at Butler's commencement on May 9. Here at 5:39, Alyssa, I've got a sneaking suspicion you are going to check off that umbrella take before you go.
I think you're right, and I think most people at home understand why. If you look out your window, you can probably see some showers coming down at your house because we are seeing widespread showers across the area. So this is a day you have to grab that umbrella. The good news is you don't need the hat and gloves. You don't need the heavy jacket because our temperatures are starting very warm this morning. We're in the upper 40s already. So what's going on is we have this cold front passing through that's bringing some showers across central Indiana to start our Monday. Some of those showers across Indianapolis right now are fairly light. Those heavier showers really to the north and south of us, with a pocket of heavier showers just moving out of Seymour right now. That's where we've seen the heaviest rainfall with this system, and that's where we're expecting the highest rainfall totals. Most of us, though, looking at maybe a quarter inch on the high side, a half an inch of rainfall by the time this system moves out. Starting our day, we'll be into the upper 40s with those showers to start, and then we will see things taper off quickly. We'll be dry by the noon hour with just maybe a spot shower possible, and then this afternoon highs will creep into the low 50s. Looking ahead to the rest of the week, much drier conditions on the way and pleasant conditions. All of those details in just a few minutes.
Alyssa, thank you. A state of emergency in Washington state following the deaths of 2 people from the coronavirus. Straight ahead, the message health officials have for the public this morning.
And a dynamic duo is hoping to strike the right chord at the iconic Abbey Road Studios in London. Coming up, details on the project that brought Prince Harry and music legend John Bon Jovi together. It's 5:40. We'll be right back.
Learn more at 2020census.gov.
It is 5:43 on your Monday. We do have breaking news for parents this morning here in Indianapolis. Indianapolis Public Schools has announced that all of the district buses will be running on their normal route schedules today. In a tweet, IPS says there may be some potential delays due to some driver call-offs. Once again, IPS says that all buses will be running on their normal routes today. In the next half hour, we'll be talking live to the IPS superintendent.
Now to the latest on the coronavirus. Over the weekend, the first confirmed deaths from the infection here in the U.S., both in Washington state.
The second victim announced Sunday night, a man who had underlying conditions, and several more communities reporting COVID-19 cases for the first time. ABC's Inez de la Cutera is in our nation's capital with the very latest.
Late Sunday, officials confirming a second death from coronavirus in the U.S. A man in his late 50s outside Seattle who had underlying health issues but no known travel abroad. Health officials in Washington state also confirming 2 new cases, both men in their 60s, also with underlying health issues, both in critical condition. The CDC now sending a team to help contain a potential outbreak at a nearby nursing care facility. At least 2 people testing positive, dozens more being examined.
I think it's very important that we treat the American people like adults and explain to them that we don't know where this will go.
At least 74 Americans have the virus. California, Washington, and Oregon all reporting incidents of community spread. Illinois, Rhode Island, and New York State confirming new cases.
We have known that this will happen.
A man in his late 40s who recently traveled to Italy, France, and Spain, now hospitalized. At least 40 people who had contact with him now told to self-quarantine.
The message is be careful and be vigilant, but don't panic.
Around the world, close to 3,000 people have died from the infection. The Trump administration implementing the highest travel advisory to regions of Italy and South Korea.
The President's also directed the State Department to work with our allies in Italy and in South Korea to coordinate a medical screening in their countries of any individuals that are coming in to the United States of America.
The president adding in a tweet, they will also be screened when they arrive in America. Americans are now being told to cancel or reconsider any travel plans to Europe and Asia. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Washington.
Representative John Lewis made a surprise appearance in Selma, Alabama Sunday. The congressman participating in the 55th anniversary of the march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Lewis participated in the original civil rights demonstration in 1965, but back then he endured a brutal beating from police officers who broke his skull. Lewis, who announced in December that he has stage 4 pancreatic cancer, was not expected to show up Sunday, but he says he is not done fighting.
I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give in. I'm going to continue to fight. We need your prayers now more than ever before.
The Commemorative March pays tribute to the key civil rights protests, which paved the way for the Voting Rights Act.
In London, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson and his partner, Carrie Symonds, have announced that they're expecting a baby and they're engaged to be married. Johnson, 55, and Symonds, 31, became the first unmarried couple to occupy Downing Street when they moved in last year. Symonds also is the youngest partner of a prime minister in 174 years. The last time a child was born to a sitting prime minister was back in 2010 when David Cameron and his wife Samantha Cameron welcomed their daughter, Florence.
Prince Harry and singer John Bon Jovi recreated one of the Beatles' best-known album covers, walking across the zebra crossing outside Abbey Road recording studios in North London. The duo are re-recording Bon Jovi's song Unbroken. It's an effort to raise awareness and money for the Invictus Games created by Harry and also spotlight veterans living with post-traumatic stress disorder. The Duke of Sussex is back in the UK for a final round of royal engagements before stepping back from duties later this month. Here at 5:48, let's take a look at what's going on outside. Hey, Alyssa.
Hey, you guys, it is a rainy start to our work week. The good news is it's not going to last very long. We're starting with those showers this morning. They're going to taper off by the noon hour, and then we are going to be left with a pretty nice week ahead with above average temperatures and dry and sunny conditions. But right now we do have those showers moving across the area. Indianapolis at 48 degrees and Kokomo as well. Bloomington at 49. So a warm start today. We have those winds shifting out of the southwest right now. A little bit of a breeze, those gusts up to about 20 miles per hour. So that's just helping usher in that warm and moist air from the south. So we are seeing just those light showers right now across Indianapolis. A few heavier showers to the north of us right around Peru and into Muncie, and a few heavier showers just to the south of us moving into Greensburg and just out of Seymour. Now areas to the north of Seymour, that's Bartholomew County. That area is under a flash flood watch. That's due to the Lamberson-Staller Dam. Areas downstream of that could experience some flooding today just as we see those heavier patches of of shower moving out of the area. The good news is that's only until 3 p.m. and that's about when we are all going to experience those drier conditions. So taking a look at TrueCast, you can see those heavier showers moving through right now, and we are going to start to see things taper off by mid-morning. Most of us will just see some spotty showers, with the eastern half of Indiana seeing most of those showers continuing, and then we are all going to dry out by midday, and then we're going to see cloudy skies. Those breezes are going to calm down as well. By the late afternoon, could even see some peaks of sunshine in there as that system moves out. Next, we have another system that's going to come in right behind that overnight. Most of that activity, though, will be to areas to the southeast of us. Just a spot shower possible across Indianapolis through Tuesday morning. Next, high pressure takes control, and we are set with some drier and sunnier conditions for the rest of the week. So really, we just have to get through today and maybe the first part of tomorrow, and then we are in good shape for the rest of the week. Temperatures starting in the upper 40s this morning. Those rain showers possible for much of the area. By the noon hour, we are going to be dry across, maybe some spot showers to the east of us. And then the rest of us, mostly cloudy skies this early afternoon, some peaks of sunshine late this afternoon. Those temperatures well above average, close to about 52 degrees for our daytime high. We'll continue that climb tomorrow with more sunshine in the forecast for your Tuesday. Highs into the mid-50s. We're staying in the 50s through Thursday before we drop off just a little bit closer to where we should be this time of year, into the mid-40s on Friday. But the weekend's looking nice as well.
Alyssa, thank you. Let's take a look right now to our east. This is I-70 at Bithofer Road. You can see traffic is actually picking up both eastbound and westbound. Lots of headlights out that way. Everything's still traveling up to speed. We do have the wet roads out there this morning, so use caution no matter where you are around the metro area.
America's biggest wireless carriers are facing more than $200 million in fines. The FCC says AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, and Verizon failed to protect the privacy of cell phone users. The companies are accused of improperly sharing customers' real-time location information to third parties. Fines range from more than $12 million to more than $91 million. All of the providers have vowed to end partnerships with data brokers and will be able to contest their fines. So far, T-Mobile is the only company that says it would fight the FCC.
Wendy's is entering the fast food breakfast battle with the launch of its breakfast menu today. But an old favorite is not going down without a fight. In an effort to deal a knockout blow, McDonald's has proclaimed today National Egg McMuffin Day. The sandwiches, which have been around since 1971, are celebrating their 50th anniversary a year early. Customers can get a free Egg McMuffin between 6 and 10:30 this morning. All you need to do is download the McDonald's app. As for Wendy's, they're offering several breakfast coupons on their app. A little bit of a competition there for the breakfast sandwich.
A little bit. Billionaire activist Tom Steyer used some unique moves to drum up support ahead of the South Carolina primary. Coming up, see how the 62-year-old was hoping to shake up the race, literally. We'll be right back.
Sale now at Value City Furniture.
Welcome back. Billionaire Democratic presidential candidate Tom Steyer was hoping to shake up some votes ahead of Saturday's South Carolina primary.
The 62-year-old went viral after this video of him dancing with rapper Juvenile was posted online. Steyer and his wife, Kat Taylor, were dancing to the 1990 hit Back That Thing Up. And of course, his campaign was quick to capitalize on that viral video, retweeting it with the hashtag #BackThatVoteUp. Unfortunately, Steyer's moves, though, were not enough to get him over the hump. Steyer dropped out of the race after coming in third in South Carolina.
I gave it a
feel
good
like
effort there.
This reminds us three of our fathers.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe after a cocktail or two at a wedding.
At every wedding, yeah.
Good for him, though. You know, still got it. Still got it. All right, listen, we still have rain here in central Indiana.
That's right. And, you know, we had some beautiful weather yesterday. Our temperatures topped out in the low 60s yesterday. A little cooler today. And when I say cooler, not by much. We're still in the 50s as we head into our afternoon. As you're heading to the bus stop with the kids, though, the main thing this morning is going to be those rain showers. They are widespread across central Indiana. A few heavier showers to the north and south of us moving along those areas, but most of us are going to dry out by this afternoon. 52 degrees for our high, mostly cloudy skies later today, maybe some peaks of sunshine as well. Looking at the rest of the week, things are going to be pretty pleasant. We'll see those temperatures staying above average for most of the week in the mid-50s with mostly sunny skies. Tuesday and Wednesday, a little bit more cloud coverage by Thursday, and then our temperatures drop off closer to average on Friday. But for the most part, a great week ahead. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. We'll be right back.